Just in these two paragraphs, there's 9, 10, 11 easy words and phrases that the expert negotiators will tell you you really don't want to use when you're settling claims.
Before we begin, I know you miffed that I was late again. If I could be on time, you know that I would. But I hardly yell at insurance anymore. Nearly all my files held her off of the floor, and I skipped organization class because I could. But except for the diary that somehow I missed, except for the contacts.
Well, welcome back, everybody. Hope you've been studying up since the last time. Ready to do our next section. First order of business, though, take care of our trivia winners. 8 characteristics sponsored by Latitude. And the trivia question had to do with the album that stayed at number 1 longer than any other album. Michael Jackson's album, Thriller album, was second place with 32, but there was an album that stayed at number 1 for 54 weeks. The soundtrack to Saturday Night Fever, the soundtrack to West Side Story, or the soundtrack to Purple Rain. And the first 3 people got it right. Well, actually, not everybody got it right. But the first 3 people got it right, said it was indeed the soundtrack to West Side Story, the original version. And in fact, here are our winners in order, our first 3 winners. So congratulations, you guys are going to get a copy of the 8 Characteristics book. All right? Now, last time I said we were going to get into great negotiators versus everybody else. But you know what? We're not going to do that. I've decided. We're going to take a detour. I want to get into another subject, and then we're going to come back to this, I promise you. Okay? I want to talk about gaining credibility. That's what I want to talk about. Should customers believe us when we tell them something? Do we have any credibility whatsoever?
Do you understand the words that are coming out of my mouth?
Well, we're going to talk about that. All right? I was monitoring a phone call, and this claims person says this: Mr. Jones, I had a chance to take a look at your file and came up with a value of about $30,000, which we feel is fair. Continues on. We're willing to make an initial offer of $30,000. Now, I can only pay $3,000 for your lost wages. Doesn't settle the claim, so he calls back. I checked with my supervisor about bumping up our offer, and he told me to throw in another $500. Okay? So that's pretty typical, right? I mean, there's nothing really wrong with any of that. But let's take a look at this, because we want to gain some credibility. Now, what I'm going to do is, I got a little role play here. I'm going to extend a settlement figure to Ms. Vader. All right? And all I want you to do while you're watching this is tell me whether or not you think I've gained or lost credibility by what I say to her. Okay? Are you ready? Roll it.
Hello.
Hello, is this Miss Vader?
This is Ella.
Hi, Ella. This is Carl Van. How you doing?
I'm doing well. How are you?
Good. I wanted to talk to you about the value of your claim, if you have a few minutes.
Yeah, I have a couple minutes.
Good. I've got the number together. Before I give you the number, I just want to mention a couple things. First of all, claims is a very easy job. I really want to let you know that. We don't work very hard in claims. We don't do any real research. We're too lazy. That's why we like this job, because it's such an easy job. You know what we do here in claims? We make up numbers. That's all we do. We just sit around and make up numbers. And that's what I did in your case. I completely made up a number. I don't have any confidence in it whatsoever, okay? Because I didn't do any real research, because I'm too lazy. And matter of fact, if I had to guess, I'm going to guess that it's probably too low. But I'm also guessing enough you're dumb enough to take it, because you won't know any better, okay? So what I'm going to do is give you this number I completely made up, have no confidence in, and have you take it because you don't know any better. But before I do that, let me mention something else. Your claim in particular is unimportant to me. I almost didn't even get to it. You're just lucky we had a slow week. I worked on the way to the potluck lunch, okay? So just be glad we had a slow week, all right? Because I have a lot more important things to work on than your claim. So what I'm going to do is give you this number, completely made up, have no confidence in, probably too low, and watch you take it because you don't know any better. All right? Even though you're the least important file I have on my desk, that's what's going to happen. All right? So you ready for the number? $30,000. How's that sound? Okay, so did you catch elevator? You caught that, didn't you? Hey, it took us 20 minutes to make up that name. Give me a break. Okay, so what would you say? Would you say, well, Carl, that's not a very good way to present a settlement figure? I mean, honestly, you probably lost a lot of credibility right there, for sure. But I'm going to tell you this. Every single thing I said to Ms. Vader is right here on your screen. Every single thing I communicated to her is right here in the words and phrases that we use all the time. Just in these 2 paragraphs, there's 9, 10, 11 easy words and phrases that the expert negotiators will tell you you really don't want to use when you're settling claims. All right, when you're settling claims, you want to make sure that the customer believes you're credible, but also that you're there to make sure they get paid what they're supposed to get paid. Every penny they're entitled to. All right? And sometimes in the way we phrase things, we lower that quite a bit. So right now, if you're reading these 2 paragraphs and you say, well, I don't see 9, 10, 11 things you shouldn't say, well, then the next few sections are going to be valuable for you. Okay? Because what we're going to do when we come back our next time is one by one, we're going to go through all the words that the expert claims negotiators will tell you you really want to stay away from. Now, here's what's important about this when we come back. It's not going to be like because you said a certain word, someone's going to file a DUI complaint against you. Okay? It's not that serious. But they'll tell you why use words and phrases that lower your credibility. All right? And I want you to think about how Ms. Vader was going to take that figure. Was she going to be inclined to accept that figure? All right. Well, then what we're going to do is we're going to learn the words and phrases the expert negotiators say you never want to use when you're trying to gain credibility in settling any type of claim. Workers' comp, construction defect, auto, bodily injury, it doesn't much matter. You always want to stay away from these words. And I promise you we will go through them one by one. Okay? All right. I look forward to seeing you next time. Before we go, of course, we got to do something fun, right? So we got our trivia coming up. But as always, call me, email me anytime. I'll be happy to answer any questions you've got. I'll go over any information you like. And I'll even role play with you if you want. Okay? All right. Well, let's do our trivia question. We're going to give away a kids' ant farm. Kids' ant farm. Sponsored by our friends at Latitude. We're going to get silly with some of these gifts, just so you know. But the first 3 people who get me email me, you can't call me, email me the right answer, you're going to win an ant farm. You can go to your kid and say, look, kid, assuming your kid's name is Kid, look what mommy or daddy won for you. Okay? An ant farm of your very own. All right, so what's our trivia going to be? Well, why not? Might as well, right? It's going to be about ants. So, the ant species, I got to try to pronounce this right, Pitfalls harrisonfordi, was indeed named after a man named Harrison Ford. Which Harrison Ford was it? Was it Harrison Ford the actor? Was it Harrison Ford the ophthalmologist? Or was it Harrison Ford the inventor? Those are your 3 options. Send me an email, and the first 3 people are going to win the ant farm. Okay? All right. That's it, everybody. Thank you. And like I said, next time, we're going to go through those words one by one that the experts will tell you do not use these words when you're trying to gain credibility. All right? Okay. See you next time.
Oh, so close.
Gas. Hit the gas.
And boom, hit it. You got it, you got it. Oh!
Go.
All right. Well, if you like these videos, please hit the like button. Also, please subscribe. And if you would like to be notified when we do put up a new video, please choose the All button under Notifications.
Welcome to our fun claims unit. We make new friends every day. We are always smiling and happy. Where our work just seems like play. Welcome to our fun claims unit. We make new friends every day. We are Welcome to our unit.